Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your host, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning. I am good. Still in Panama and figuring out where to go in about a week or two.
How about Prospera? When are you going back to Prospera?
I will be there. Hosting an event in the second half of November, like the week before Thanksgiving. I should probably show some info on that. Probably next week.
Geez, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. All right, mate. Let's get in the charts. We'll do a quick show today. The price is interesting, and it sort of echoes what we were saying in the last show that we did. I'm starting on the 4 hour time frame. I'll work my way up. I feel like we have rounded here. We've lost the top that we put in at sort of that 125, 126 zone. And the price is fading. I mentioned in the last show that we did, I think that 116 is where I'm really looking to buy. And remember, I mentioned in the last time show, everyone was getting really, really excited once we broke the wave, and they were all messaging me like, "Do we buy now? Do we buy now?" And I said, "Look, the best way to go about it is to set a bit of a. I don't know how to do this. I hate to do this on air, but like this is a Fibonacci retracement. But imagine their buys like this buy, casting a net. Do you know? Like, forget about the Fibonacci. I do think that there's a really good chance that we get back to this zone of this 116, get inside the green wave. This is like plan A for me right now to really stock up. I think that there's bullish momentum in Bitcoin, and I think that a pullback right now after the tremendous run up we've had is on. There's a plan B, of course, which is to regain all these moving averages, get above 123 as it stands right now, and then kick on. And that's fine too. There's two options, but I would never buy when we've just had this tremendous run up and we're so far above all the moving averages. That's just Matt, right? Same thing goes for the daily time frame. That 116 also correlates really well with the 30 simple moving average here on the daily time frame, which I really I feel like that's calling for it right now. We had a fantastic MRI top on the daily. Is this going to be a 1 to 4 candle correction and we get above 124 and kick off? Yeah, that's plan B. Fantastic. I'm happy to buy into that. Otherwise, I'm looking for something of a retracement to round off, put in a way higher low than the previous lows. That's all positive stuff for me. I don't mind that at all. I'm all for that. The weekly time frame, as I pull it up right now, same jazz. Where's this blue line? Oh, it's that blue line right there is the 7 simple moving average on the weekly. By the time that rolls up a little bit, that's that 116 as well. A pullback to the 7 simple moving average. I think that's on the cards, and I think that's a tremendous buy the dip opportunity somewhere in that vicinity of that 116 to probably 120, right? In that zone, I think there's a great buy the dip. I just can't buy personally when we've just had a massive run up. We're so far above the moving averages just in a solitary week. So I think that's on the cards. And I'll just reiterate the fact we recover this week and we start to move back into a green candle, then I think it's a fantastic buy at a higher price. We're in no man's land right now as far as I'm concerned. Some of the oscillators, yeah, copy curve looks fine. This is the one that MACD, it hasn't crossed yet. It's still in that zone. I think that there's still a chance there. All right, mate. That's as far as I'm concerned here on the Bitcoin. I'll show you a couple of other things. The Tilray tone.
Oh wow, that is like popping to the upside still.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I mean I put a line in at a $1.59. I didn't buy it, but I'll just keep that as a reminder of where I said this is a buy, this is a buy, this is a buy. I think that looks really, really nice as it stands right now. A couple of my other shit coins are still absolutely ramping. This one's like 130% up. Absolutely fantastic. And I'll go through a few of these later on. All right, Tone, coming back to you now in the studio. As I turn off that. Hey, guys, like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. We're here most days of the week. It's a great show to be involved with. We've got a great Discord community in the links in the description below. Always the best exchanges that we have the best deals on as well. So, Tone, am I way off base, mate? Looking for a pullback or what do you reckon? It's just a
No, I'm looking for a pullback as well, and I'm just here on a weekly chart. Nothing interesting on the monthly chart, really. The weekly chart is still very, very bullish. This candle is barely, pulling back on the current candle. So we're going straight into the daily chart. And we are on day 3 of a 4 candle correction, up to 4 candles. So I can see there being a buy the dip tomorrow. Now, as you guys know, I am not overly bullish over the weekend, but I can see us stabilizing over the weekend. And my buy the dip area, just like the title of this video, is at 120,000. I do think 120,000 is providing very good support. And, the slower we get into that 120, 119 range, the better it is, because then the moving averages get a chance to catch up a little bit. I like these daily moving averages. We have this should be the 20, the 50, and the 128. You can see they are all in line. They are above each other. There's the 200 with your alphanumerics wave, and everything is looking good. I see this as a normal pullback, and I still see more upside into the end of year. My target for end of year remains 142,000. We were looking pretty good
Can
this
we can we
morning.
can we talk about that for a second, man? I just wanted
Mhm.
to to wrap with you on that weekly time frame. There's always a big difference for me, and this is why I made alphanumerics. When that wave is green, I'm on the lookout for really great pullbacks, which we're in right now. And when the wave is red, I'm not. And if you look at that, it looks like I've just missed two great buys, the dips. And yeah, you're definitely right. I did. But I can show you 1,000 examples of where the dip goes lower forever. What's the difference for you when what do you look at? It's like what's the difference between now by the dip and 3 weeks ago when we were concerned about Bitcoin? Why didn't you scream buy the dip at that point? Do you know what I mean?
No, I
How did
did. We had MRI buys,
you
right?
did
So,
you did there on the you did there. Maybe make it more broad. You absolutely did there, brother, and I'm right there with you. But in general, like you're not always screaming by the dip. It's not a buy the dip show on every single pullback that we have. How do you differentiate between a great time to buy the dip and other times where the price might be sliding lower? What's your principle for that? Is
well,
it just
look,
the MRI?
the perfect buy the dip is when it happens up, bouncing off a moving average, right? So the tricky part on these last couple buy the dips is that they were below the moving averages. So I would say this buy the dip was this buy the dip had a problem because it was a double bottom. Okay. Uh, Things don't always line up. Like, here's a great buy the dip back in August. August 2nd is a great buy the dip off the moving average. It just wasn't in line with the MRI. On the flip side, this buy the dip was in line with the MRI, but I was concerned because it did break the MRI resistance line. We lost two moving averages, and it was a double bottom. This buy the dip here, again, the only positive was the MRI buy situation, and we're at the 128-day moving average. Everything else was a bit concerning. So none of these are perfect, but
Mm,
this particular dip coming up tomorrow is very, very good, because I think 120 is great support, and it's the fourth day of a 1 to 4 candle correction. So if we're going to start a rally, tomorrow is a good time for it to begin, and if you're wrong, because you're going to lose the next moving average. So to me, this next buy the dip is great because it's happening in a pure bull market. So it's like a low risk buy the dip situation near the top.
yeah.
None of them are going to be perfect. There's always going to be concerns, but I don't have a lot of concerns here. In the
Uh,
middle of October, and as I've been saying for 3 or 4 months,
yeah.
October is usually one of the best months for any risk on asset. October is usually awesome. Uh,
Can,
you
I
can
love that. I love
go
that,
for it.
mate. I just while we're wrapping on this, I want to bring up something. All right, so uh, EL. All right, this is a trade that I'm in right now, and it's been really great. And I'll show you. I just wanted to. We got time. We got time to talk about this trading point, right? So, if you go to Alpha and you change the settings with stocks, I change. I go over into Alpha and I change the modified list R to a monthly, right? So I just wanted to show you what I'm jiving about here, right? So look at this, right? This is why I respect the waves. All right. This is EL, which is Estee Lauder, right? So we put in its absolute peak ever at nearly $400. The wave turned red, and then it had like some kind of respite, and then the wave turned red, and it just stayed red. These is a monthly time frame. This is years and years and years.
Hey,
We
Matt, okay,
finally
we don't see your screen share. You had it for a minute. We lost it.
uh,
So you want to put your screen share back.
sorry, mate. Oh yeah, something happened there. Look, this is interesting for those who really love trading. I just wanted to take the time to go through it. All right, you can see it now, mate.
Yeah.
Yep. So we put in the ultimate high at 400. The wave turned red, probably at 300, and the price just collapsed. It had some respite when it looked like we were going to, recover, but it just came back to the 30 simple on the monthly. Remember, these are months, and then the price faded, went all the way down. Like this is months and months and months of red wave where I'm not buy the dip, 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 buy the dip. What is a dip at this point? Do you know? You get these two monthly green diamonds. I went in at $36, and she's recovered nearly 100%. Do you know
Oh,
what I mean?
you
From that
mean 36? You mean like
63,
$63?
$63.
Okay, that makes more sense.
That's yeah, that's the dyslexia for you. It's up, 53%. All right, not 100%, 53%. But this is my point I was trying to make. When that wave is red, and the Bitcoin can do this too. Trust me. It's just with hindsight, we like, well, you just should have just bought Bitcoin and held it forever. But if you're from traditional markets, you don't know how long this is going to stay red for and how bad it's going to
Right.
bleed. So when the wave is red, my instincts are like, let's go and have our next entry at a green diamond. And if they don't happen, if the price recovers, which it has done now on Bitcoin, the wave turns red again, we get all back in. But ultimately, we're looking, this is a monthly time frame. The best we can hope for is a weekly for Bitcoin with these green diamonds. But this is the structure that I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for when that wave turns red. Sometimes it doesn't happen. It just does what it did on Bitcoin, which I'll just, now that that's in your mind, we'll go back to the weekly and go to Bitcoin. This is what it did on Bitcoin. I have to go back to the settings, change this back to weekly. This might be boring for a lot of people, but some people really love this stuff. So I'm just take the time to go through it. The wave turned red on the weekly time
You sure
frame,
that
and we
worked
don't
because you
know.
didn't hit apply?
Yeah, it's there. It's there, mate.
Okay.
Yep. The wave turned red. We don't know where this is going. This could deteriorate, but the market recovers back to green, and now we look to buy those dips, buy the dips. Plenty of times in the past, this thing has gone red, and really spent a bad time in the red, where it goes red here. You've got these are weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end. You got the green diamond, you got the change in the lucid SAR here. We're good again. And that's just, you take the good with the bad with it. At least we have a biased, and I'm definitely bullish biased right now. Sorry, trying to go through that, but I just wanted to make that point. Back with you now, mate.
All right. No. Cool.
Please continue. What are you seeing on the lower time frames on Bitcoin?
So here are those lower time frames. So on the 4-hour chart, I would be looking for an MRI buy on a 4-hour chart sometime over the next 24 hours. That would be probably a nice buy the dip for me. We haven't had an MRI buy on the 4-hour in a while. Here's the last one, and the last 4-hour MRI top came in perfect. That was the low. It was right in line with the daily MRI top, and up we go. So I would be looking for a 4-hour MRI top to buy that dip. Hopefully, it times us with the hourly MRI top as well. Anything in the low 120s to high 119s creates that good possibility. It can go to lower 19s as well, but I am basically not concerned on by the dip unless the price starts to go below 117. So we do want to stay above 117. Hopefully we don't cut it too close and we bounce somewhere in the low 120s, high 119s area. All right. This is the bullish cycle chart. I still believe in the 4-year cycle. I still think we're going to have a top sometime in the next 9 months. I'm expecting a top and a little bit of a bear market. Now, we don't know how bad the bear market's going to be until we know where the top actually is. So we just stay patient on that front. We can see Bitcoin dominance is starting to rise as I expected. I really thought this area here in September is gonna mark the low in Bitcoin dominance. So alt season is over. Not the best candle here to kind of screw up with my MRI trend, but that's okay. Bitcoin dominance is now on a 2-month high, and I would like to see it go all the way up to reach new highs. Gold has finally topped a little bit. Let's see how that works out, but it's holding steady above 4,000. And on a daily scale, gold still has an MRI top coming in sometime next week. On a weekly scale, there's just no stopping it. It is bullish on a weekly scale. So I would not be surprised at this point if gold ends up rallying, a few $100 more, maybe even more than that, maybe even reach 5,000 on gold, because we just started a brand new weekly gold MRI trend, but the monthly should coming in at the top in December. So maybe gold still has more rallies to go into end of month.
Crypto Oki says, is it LMAO? Is that laugh my ass off? I don't
Yeah,
know.
but he
I'm
also
40 years
has a
old.
monkey JPEG as his profile pic, so you can imagine what he's thinking.
He says, "I Litecoin looking juicy." No, don't yell at this guy. He's in our show every day. He seems like a decent guy, but
Silver is coming in on a weekly MRI top next week, so we got a few more days. I don't know, the precious metal markets. Oh, silver is at 50. Silver has reached where I think silver should top. Look at this exponential rise, and look at the last time silver had an exponential rise like that. It topped right at $50, and it had like an 8-year bear market for silver, and something like that. 5 years, and then another 5 years of consolidation. Eventually reaching a low in 2020. That was wow. So from 2011 to 2020, that's a 9-year bear market. But that was COVID. I guess I can give it some slack. So maybe in reality, it was more like a 4-year bear market. I think this is it. This is, man, I need to get back to the US and sell some silver. Let's see. Maybe it'll have another good week. Maybe it'll have another good month. Nope, that's
man,
it.
I'll be
That's
ripping.
it. It's topping
I'll
out
be
monthly. Oh man,
if it
I gotta
if
figure out. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
if it keeps going, mate, I'll be ripping my teeth out.
I'm so tempted to just go into the futures market and take on a short sometime next week. So tempting to do some silver. This shit is gonna crash, man. That silver looks so juicy for a short.
I don't think it's going to crash in this environment until the belly bursts out of all of it. I think that it's still got room to run while the whole thing's going.
I'm
like
gonna
it
stay
is,
patient, but man, if silver runs to like 60, 70,
Yeah.
I gotta think of something here, because it is gonna crash. Like the miners are gonna flood the market with silver.
I think the whole thing's going to crash, dude. But I don't want to be like one of those, you know, what's his name? Rich Dad Poor Dad Kiyosaki guys that just says that for 40 years. So we'll deal with it when it comes. But mm,
Yeah, no, but I'm only saying it's going to crash because of the exponential rise, right? Like
right,
the stock market is
right.
not in an exponential rise. Stock market is
Well,
clean.
I think it is. You know?
No, it's not. Look, I mean, that's not exponential,
Yeah,
right? Like
not
here, like
exponential.
here's a monthly stock market. That's not exponential. That's nice, slow, and steady. And
Right.
if I go over to silver, and,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then here's silver, like come on, they're both on monthly
No, no, I
scales,
hear you.
right? Like look at this. This is just straight up.
I hear you, brother. Winston says, Tone, my sister is in Florida and she's always been a gold and silver bug. She's right now.
Yeah, I mean she's right now, and the last time she was right was in 2010. Like it's great. It's
Yeah.
been 15
Yeah.
years, right?
Yeah, that's it,
she's
man.
been
That's
she's been
it.
right.
Or
She's been right twice since my high school days. Like
yep, yep. Yeah, she has. All right, let's go. We got one more show this week on Friday. What do you reckon? Just go back to Bitcoin. Predictions for the rest of the week. You reckon are we going to have that drop? I said 116, you said 120, doesn't matter either way. Or do we do plan B? That's plan A. Plan B is just to recover from here and put in a 1 to 4 candle correction and onwards and upwards. What do you reckon, mate? Making calls?
I would I would take a swing. I would take a swing. I hate buying on Friday, but this is one of those exceptions. I think this is very,
Yeah.
very strong support on buy the dip. And I would take a swing at Bitcoin either Friday or wait till Monday. Uh, and let's see if the 1 to 4 candle correction of the MRI top holds true. Uh, so somewhere in this area, yeah, 119, 120, and you will know pretty quickly if you're wrong.
Yeah. See, even you've got a line in there at 116, that blue line. What's that? I don't know what that is,
No,
but
that's
like,
120.
yeah, there's a lower one. That's a purple line. And then, sorry, your moving average
That's
there
moving
of
average, right?
116.
That's moving average
Yeah,
is
sorry.
by the time we touch the moving average, it's going to be 118.
Right. I just think it's calling for it,
It's
begging
going
for
up
it to have
really,
a really
really
good
fast.
response off that. Yeah.
Dude, BlackRock is unstoppable. Over 800,000 Bitcoin that it's holding. It's just like everything else is holding steady. Look, I remember Ark Invest had
Yeah.
50,000 Bitcoin when BlackRock had like 300,000. BlackRock has
Yeah.
tripled, and Ark Invest is actually down, right, from that day. So BlackRock is
Somebody,
absolutely
somebody,
destroying it.
somebody do the math on how do we get supply shock in Bitcoin? What it takes?
I mean, we just
Don't know.
did. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's what this was. This was a bit of a supply shock, and now it's just holding steady, and it's not going to take much more. I think we're going to get another exponential rise later this year. I think we can, once we break 130, I can see it going exponential to 160, 170. I think the supply shock is here, especially if old season is over and people rotate out of their scams into Bitcoin. That's going to even add to it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this in October alone, 40 over 43,000 Bitcoin has already been purchased into the ETFs. That's just the
And they
ETFs.
haven't sold any either, right? It's just stockpiling.
Yeah, no, the stockpile. I mean, like the numbers are increasing, right? Like this is we're at an all-time high right now because you can see it month by month. So in the month of August, 9,000 Bitcoin got sold by the ETFs. Last month, 26,000 were added, and this month already, almost 44,000 already added. Now, considering
Mm.
every quarter there's 40,000 new Bitcoins being mined. So they've already added a quarter's worth of Bitcoin in 10 days in October.
Mm.
right? So
No, it's exciting. It's exciting.
there's definitely no new supply coming in, and a lot of miners aren't selling. I'm curious where. Let's do Bitcoin treasuries. We can see where MicroStrategies is.
Yes, people are asking about that too.
MicroStrategies at 640,000 Bitcoin. Mara, wow, I had no idea Mara had that much Bitcoin on their books. Um, okay, yeah. So I mean, look, they're picking up. You would think Coinbase would hold more Bitcoin, right? Considering how long they've been in the space,
Yeah.
and Tesla hasn't picked any more up. Um, yeah, it's basically just MicroStrategy with 640,000. I don't know when the last time they bought, but that's not bad. Yeah. All right,
All right,
ready
brother.
to call it a day?
Yes, I am. I do have one question for the audience. If Bitcoin, let's just say Bitcoin jumps to 150,000, I'm going to buy either I want to hear a poll. Send me a message in the chat of the YouTube. Should I buy the less expensive Nissan 300ZX twin turbo, or do I go the full big banging Honda NSX? Oh, I don't know. That's way more expensive. The 90s model, 91 model. I'm gonna get one of these. I'm kind of leaning towards the 300ZX. It's half the price, but I don't know. Tone, any thoughts?
Yeah, let Matt know in the comments. I'm actually not familiar with either of those cars, so I don't have an opinion on this. I'm not a car guy. I bought my perfect car, so I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'm good. I spent,
Please, if you're into JDM cars, please send a message in the comment section, and I'll rap with you about it. I'm very interested.
I spent
Maybe
my
maybe
I spent
we'll
my
get a
life
Supra.
savings of $7,000 on my car a few months ago, and I'm good.
That's awesome. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. We'll see you at the same time tomorrow, and let's go Bitcoin. Let's hope for Plan B, eh?
All right. Just one quick note. S&P 500 did hit an MRI top on a weekly. We are looking at a doji candle here this week. This is a little concerning to me, so I am gonna keep an eye on it. This is how markets top, but I don't see this as a massive correction. However, if the S&P pulls back, it's got room to pull back all the way down to the prior swing high of February, which is nothing to sneeze at, right? I mean, that would be a 10% correction on the S&P. What does that mean for Bitcoin? Well, if we're lucky, Bitcoin could rally as people, decide to pull back the S&P 500. I do think they're a little more correlated. I'm going to delete these arrows here. So I would be a little careful with the S&P. On a monthly scale, we have room. S&P is good to keep rallying. As you guys know, I am a massive stock market bull. My target is about 12,000 on the S&P and about 75,000 on the Dow Jones. I'm not even sure where the Dow Jones is right now. We can go and take a quick look at the Dow. My target is about 75,000 on the Dow Jones. It's always been my target. Going back to 2015, my target's been where was Dow Jones in 2015? Right around here somewhere? Nope, that's 12. Probably earlier in 2015 when we broke these highs. Uh, yeah, so back when the Dow Jones was 15,000, my target was already 75,000. And I've been right on that for a while. And 75,000 and then a massive crash. No idea what's going to cause it. Well, we'll get to that bridge probably in about 2 to 3 years. We'll see how we get there. All right, and one last thing is the daily S&P chart. I'm just curious for myself. I just want to see how the MRI is playing it on the daily. If there's a daily MRI top coming in early next week, then that's going to be interesting. Oh boy, here we go. We got a daily MRI top. We had a weekly MRI top last week. We got a doji candle this week. I would be careful with the S&P. I would not jump into anything right now. I'd wait to see how next week shapes up. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching, and see you all.
Yeah, but before you go, Tone, I think I think our fan base are all closeted JDM Japanese car specialists. The chat just turned on
Oh,
fire. So
really? That's interesting. Oh, I
yeah,
wasn't looking at the chat.
I'm gonna start my next channel. Tony's gonna do a health channel, and I'm gonna travel around Japan looking for Ikea, which are like basically free houses or very, very, very cheap houses in Japan, and recommend them to you guys, the best ones. And I'm going to find like 1991, 1980s, 1970s Japanese sports cars, super cheap, under 30,000 miles. And I recommend them to you guys too. That'll be my new channel with the Bitcoin. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining.
All right, later, guys. All right, how do let me turn this off. Bye, guys.